Inshallah, in this video, I'll be covering how you can become more productive as a Muslim adult by memorizing surahs of the Quran and ultimately memorizing the whole Quran. So of course, on this channel, we are always talking about how you can memorize the Quran, how you can benefit from memorizing the Quran. So memorizing the Quran is a journey that looks very, very big, but it's actually quite easy because there are many divisions of the Quran. Inshallah, I'll do another video about the divisions, but in this video, I want to talk about how that can make you more productive by memorizing certain portions of the Quran. The best thing to do is start from Juz Amma, from the 30th Juz, of course. And you start from the surahs, the shortest surahs, and you go to the longest ones. The reason why you'll become more productive is because what you do is you set yourself a goal. Without a goal, you are unable to see your end. You have to be able to have an end in mind to be able to complete or get to that end, to arrive to that goal. So if you say to yourself that, okay, I am memorizing, for example, Surah Al-Fajr. And Surah Al-Fajr is around about, depending on what mushaf you're using, is about a page and a few lines, or a page and a half, depending on the mushaf that you're using. But once you set that goal and you look at Surah Al-Fajr and say, okay, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to break this surah down into 4 parts. And I'm going to memorize part number 1, about a quarter of the surah on one day. I'll revise that, what I've learned the next day. Then on the third day, I'll learn the next quarter, making half of Surah Al-Fajr. And then I'll revise, and then I'll learn the following quarter, the third quarter, and then ultimately I'll finish, and I'll spend the rest of the week just revising Surah Al-Fajr. You have completed something and you've become more productive because you set a target and you achieved it. You gave yourself 5 days to complete it, maybe 6 days with the revision in the middle, and the rest of the time you spent revising it. But what that has done for you is that, number 1, you set a goal. Number 2, you broke it down into easy pieces to be able to make sure that you can complete it in a manageable way, and you've got the steps laid out. And number 3, you finally achieve that goal, and then you revise it, you ensure you perfect it. So that's the key thing. Memorizing the Quran, memorizing surahs makes you more productive as an adult because you have a goal, you have the steps laid out, you take the steps in manageable steps, and ultimately you complete that goal. Memorizing the Quran is something which is very, very good because you as an adult, if you're doing it yourself, you're able to build that discipline into your life. And that's something that you can achieve. When I speak to even my mum, for example, many things, when I tell her I'm setting out to do this and I'm going to do it in X amount of time, she always tells me, why are you going to do it so quickly? Ultimately, she doesn't understand. This is my goal, and this is when I want to achieve it because it's manageable and I can do it in this many days, and I need to do this much work in these many days or in each day. And ultimately, alhamdulillah, when I complete it, now don't say I complete all of them 100% of the time on time, but I would say 90% of the projects that I work on get to completion, and around about 60% to 70% of the projects that I work on are completed on time. Now, by the way, these are non-professional projects which aren't related around my business, otherwise that would be a very bad result. However, I'm talking about things that I work on myself. For example, the Arabic course that I created, the first one, Quranic Arabic, I had a target in mind that I would have that fully filmed and edited within 3 weeks. However, I didn't realize that the editing would take so long. So alhamdulillah, I got the whole course filmed in 3 weeks. And then thereafter, we spent another 2 and 2.5 weeks, I can't remember exactly now, editing the videos, and it was ultimately finished in a period of time. Now, although it took longer, we took the steps. We had the goal in mind. We took the steps, alhamdulillah, and then we get to completion. So just like that, as an adult, think. If you memorize, for example, Surah Al-Baqarah. Surah Al-Baqarah, of course, the longest surah of the Quran, 286 verses. If you think this year that I'm going to memorize Surah Al-Baqarah and I need to memorize, for argument's sake, 5 ayat in a day, and then you know that, and you're going to spend some time in revision, of course, as well, you know that in 1 year you'll be able to finish Surah Al-Baqarah. Ultimately, you would have achieved a big goal. Of course, we know that Surah Al-Baqarah is one of the major elements of the Quran. I can't remember the exact words of the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, but from what I can remember to the nearest meaning, it is the the camel hump of the Quran. You know, the camel hump, which is a significant, it's a magnificent part of the camel, right? So it's a big thing of the Quran that has been completed. And imagine you can be proud for yourself, meaning thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that alhamdulillah He's given you the opportunity to complete Surah Al-Baqarah, and then you can give other people, alhamdulillah, last year I memorized Surah Al-Baqarah. Imagine how proud, imagine how happy your mum would be. Imagine how happy your dad would be if if they're alive. Imagine how happy your spouse or your children would be. Imagine how happy you would be with yourself, because you've set a target, you've put it into manageable pieces and chunks, and ultimately you've completed that goal. So memorizing the Quran makes you more productive. How do you bring that into your life? You have a project in mind, and everyone must have a project. Do not live your lives goalless. Inshallah, I'll make another video like that. This is something me and my cousin we were complaining about many years ago, before, when we had no goals. Alhamdulillah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enabled us to have goals in our life, which we could work on, and we started productive. Anyway, coming back to another thing, alhamdulillah, if you are serious about memorizing the Quran, I've created this Hifz tracker. So this is a green color one. I don't know whether you can see it because the light is reflecting. And this is a blue color one. Whichever one, there's no difference between them. And that's the back, alhamdulillah. It was designed, actually, the design was done by my daughter. But the concept, obviously, of what's inside there was designed by me. So if you are serious about memorizing the Quran, if you want to complete some surahs, this is very good, because when you open up, you see, welcome to your Hifz tracker. And alhamdulillah, what we've done is that we've put some virtues of memorizing the Quran. And then we've put some of the methods of memorization, and also some of the methods of revising the Quran too. So it gives you practical advice on what you need to do, some virtues to, give you that motivation that you need. Also the methods of memorizing the Quran and the methods of revising the Quran. We've got all the surahs listed with little boxes that you can check off as you go along. So for example, if you need to memorize, you are going to focus on memorizing Juz Amma, you go to the page of Juz Amma on the last page, and then you can tick the surahs as you go along. Okay, I've memorized this one, I've memorized this one, memorized this one. Look at the satisfaction it will give you. Alhamdulillah, if anyone remembers the journey that I had on the video where I said that we started off just memorizing Juz Amma, then we said let's go to Juz Tabarak, and then we said let's go to Juz Qad Sami Allah, and it just went on from there. So this is going to give you some real motivation as you tick them off. It's, psychologically, studies have shown that as you cross off and tick off things off your checklist, it gives you satisfaction and motivation. So whichever one, so there will be some links in the description that you can click and you can purchase if you want. Tracking your memorization is always going to help you, because it gives you, okay, this is what I done last week. Let me continue, at the very least, at that level. Then maybe you want to build on your memorization as you go along. But effectively, this will make you more productive in your memorization. This will make you more productive in your memorization. And your memorization, inshallah, the completion of the surahs will make you more productive as a Muslim and as a human being, that you can set goals, break them up into manageable pieces, and ultimately complete them. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for you to become a productive Muslim, and also to memorize the Quran. Assalamu alaikum.